Hello. Right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like and all that. Click the home bargains button. Anyway, you join us here. Kev's the one with the afro, and he's flying off the front, putting in a right old attack early on, just to give them their little heebie-jeebies, and we can see who's going to react. And it's Mr. Gary Cowlam, I think, who goes after them. Nob chases. Toy something chases, and we're a little bit of danger here because they're getting quite a few riders up top, including Mike Butcher or whatever, who's just passed me, the German flag. So potentially here there could be 4 against 1, which is a bit dangerous, but it's too early in the race, and we know that just after this is a downhill. So we all come back together anyway. But unfortunately, we are going to lose one of our riders, Coach Beard, who's struggling with that surge. And you can see the gap there, it's 3-4 seconds, and he can't get back on. Unfortunately, so anyway, we've got, obviously I've speeded it up now. That'll make it really hard for Coach to get back on. If you're not familiar with this route, Serpentine 8, it's all, well, apart from the lead-in, as you saw, it's all gravel. And we're about to go through the end of the lead-in at some point very soon, which in a little while is also the finish line when we come back through this gate. Yeah, there you go. So, and that's the lead-in done. And very, very soon this will come out of this rather spectacular looking cave or tunnel or whatever. It's rather nice, isn't it? And we'll be passing the turning to the Alp rather. Alp to Zwift on the left somewhere soon. There it is. But anyway, yeah, this is the start of the climb. I have got some cunning graphics at some point, but I don't know where they are. They've gone somewhere, but I was going to talk a little bit about the graphics that you see on the screen at the moment, which obviously are very useful in terms of planning how you're going to attack, or when you're going to attack, or just how you're going to approach this climb. They are quite long climbs, probably about 6.5 to 7 minutes, something like that, if you're going tough, going hard. So obviously this is long climb number 1. And you can see the profile map in the top right is showing you, and that profile there with the colours, the blues, the orange and the yellows, that is showing you the steepness. So as the gradients increase or decrease, the colours will change. Blue being those moments where you can maybe get a little bit of respite, but also keep an eye on surging. So we're keeping an eye on the guy at the front at the moment, the Butcher. I think he's the guy that is their light rider, something like 58 kilos or something. So compared to all of us, he's quite light. So we're just trying to keep it all together. There's only 4 of us and 5 of them. So that's really important that we keep the pace high. We don't let any of them get away and off the front, which this guy Hoppener is trying to do. Nob's not having that. And if I remember, yeah, Nob then surges past him thinking, well, come on then, what you got? He does sort of try and keep up, but he ends up going back into the pack because it's not a steep climb, so you'll still get draft on these. Oh, look at all the glow firefly things, or whatever you call them. Didn't really notice that when I was racing. But yeah, it's a long climb this. Power-ups, draft and aero. At the moment I've got an aero power-up, but I'm not going to use it for an uphill. That would be a little bit stupid. So the top of this hill ends at that rope bridge, the thingy bridge. I probably thought I was nearer to the top than I actually was. But anyway, what I am noticing, and what you'll probably notice, I had a little look back there, is M. Butcher. He's the only one that's chasing. So we're sort of probably a team decision subconsciously to kind of keep the pace high and nullify his efforts of trying to break away on one of these long climbs. So although we hadn't sort of really talked about it in much detail before the race, we knew who to watch out for, and the rest of us were just staying clumped together and glued to their wheels. If any of them surged, we would. So yeah, I'm just holding on to Butcher. What? All the way up this climb, almost at the top, and then we'll have a little, well, quite a long downhill, and a chance to recover, which is going to be lovely. You should be familiar with this. If you're not, it is the rope bridge, the suspension bridge. It is a moment where people up this next bit here, which is peaks at around 7%, I think, yeah, because of the dark orange. It's a chance to people surge and get over the top for the downhill, but we're all on gravel bikes. Group comes back together. Thank God for that, because I'm absolutely shattered. My heart rate's peaking, 180 something, which is a little bit too high to maintain for me. So group comes back together, draft gauge increases, and everybody's happy again, including me. Hello. Some of the more observant amongst us will notice that one of their riders is now dropped, G. Cowlam, or Gary. He's about 20 odd seconds behind. He just couldn't quite make it up that little rise with the group, and so he's gone, and we're left now 4v4, which is much more suitable for what is to come, which is very soon the second long climb. This time we'll be going, if you like, what would you say, anti-clockwise. It is a little bit steeper in parts, or has more steeper parts, as you'll see in the coloured profile pic in a minute, in the middle of the screen at the top. But I'll let this play out so you're not listening to my amazing voice. Right, enough of that. You'll see one of their riders hopping off the front. Not a good play by them, because, as you'll notice at the back, obviously they've got Gary Cowlam off, but one of their other riders starts to really suffer. I think we're strong enough to keep up with them. We're also mindful that we don't want to drop Chris. He's not got a huge 5-minute power, so we're just trying to keep him in whilst also keeping the pace high, so as I say, he can still get draft off us. So Steve and I are looking after him. Kev is marshalling the front, and not letting that bugger get away with the magic afro. So you'll see, there you go. So Rod with the Ukrainian flag. He's now 14 seconds back. He's not going to get back on, so it's now 4v2, which kind of was kicked off by one of their team, Hoppener, who's up the front. I'm making sure that Chris stays on. Has he got disc wheels? What? That must be a glitch, because he was definitely on a gravel bike, but he's definitely got a disc wheel. What's that about? Anyway, we're all back together. Knob pushes a little bit, but very mindful not to do too much, because we want to try and keep everyone, all our team together. So yeah, we've got Steve Tilley at the front, big Chevy diesel engine, off he goes, bosh. And there's Hopner again, trying to be a little bit frisky. I see. That's fair enough. Still a long way to go. I know this side, for some reason, a bit better than the other one. But you'll see the graphic in the middle. It's about to level off with a blue, so it goes down to 1%, 0%, and then obviously kicks back up again. Isn't it nice? As I say, it's about 6.5, 7 minute climb. Obviously, if you're a pro, it'll probably be about 4 minutes. Well, probably 3. Anyway, shut up. Where are we? There we are. So we are looking at the bridge coming up. You can see the red bits. That's the other side of the bridge. Not too far to go. Let's try and keep everybody together. We're fairly adamant we know where it's going to kick off, which will be that little lump before the finish. But see if we can get everybody to the downhill. So we're all looking good. Chris is looking strong. He was a bit worried before the race that he would get dropped up these climbs, and if we did drop him, then he would crack on. But we've kept him, which is great. Improves our chances of winning this race by quite a bit, because we've got 4v2. So here comes the long downhill. Thank God for that. As I say, those are quite tough climbs, but we'll speak to you soon. Ah! Steve launches an early attack because he's not a sprinter, but we know he can go from a distance. So as soon as he goes, they're going to charge. Yep, there they go, and we're going to get on their coattails. Me and Chris Rodrup are chasing. I overtake, got the power up, but more importantly, Kev won. Well, obviously I couldn't film him, sorry Kev, because I was filming myself. Not going to change camera angles at that late point because I'm knackered. So there's the results. We got 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th and 10th. So we ended up winning that race. Hurrah! What an effort. It was a tough race, that one. Great course though.